Well, signs already that far from a honeymoon period for the new Prime Minister Keir Starmer, voters, the public, pretty unimpressed with his leadership so far in response to the trouble, the riots we've seen across the country. Before I get to that though, we have seen the likes of Elon Musk, of course, of X, formerly Twitter, weigh in on all of this. And it is interesting to note now that X is the #1 news app in the UK, in the App Store. Elon Musk describing it now as the top source of news in the UK. And Musk has asked questions. Why does the UK media, with a few exceptions, just parrot the government? Asking other questions of Keir Starmer, and also with the hashtag 2-tier Keir. Now, we know that the Labour Prime Minister fiercely rejects any notion of 2-tier policing in this country. But what are we to make of this interview that's just been conducted by Sky News with West Midlands Police, this confirming to many that fears of 2-tier policing are actually justified?
Why was there such a low-key, should we say, police presence? Because, I mean, clearly your officers were there, but they were not visible, and yet there were an awful lot of people out and an awful lot of people who were armed with various weapons.
So we have really strong business and community relations, and because we were aware through intelligence that there was a potential protest through that misinformation yesterday, we had the opportunity to meet with community leaders, with business leaders prior to that event to kind of understand the style of policing that we needed to deliver during the course of that operation. So we knew that there was going to be a large amount of people out on that counter-protest. We knew who the vast majority of those people were. We'd had conversations in terms of what that was likely to look like, and so our policing response was commensurate to that intelligence and the information that we'd held with our partners and communities prior to that event taking place.
Even given there were so many of them clearly armed, I mean, would you do the same if it was an EDL type situation?
So we've policed in response to the intelligence that we received at that moment in time. What I would say is that the vast majority of people that attended that protest yesterday did so law-abidingly, and they did it with the right intentions. There were just a small minority of people that attended there and were intent on causing either criminality, disorder or fear within our communities. What we saw was a response from our communities where they were trying to kind of make sure that that was policed within themselves as well, and trying to deter people from taking part in that disorder. And as a result, we've been able to go on, gather that evidence, gather that information. We have made arrests. Well, we've made an arrest this afternoon. We continue to try and make arrests in terms of those people that were involved in those disorders yesterday.
And as for the public's verdict on Keir Starmer, his response, his handling of these riots, well, just 31% of the country think the new Prime Minister has responded, has handled this well, 49% saying badly. You can see there even 24% of Labour voters not thinking the Prime Minister has handled this well. It goes up to 69% of Conservative voters and 89% of Reform voters. The numbers for Yvette Cooper, the new Home Secretary, also pretty bleak there. Just 23% of the country thinking that the Home Secretary is dealing with the riots well. And only by 2 to 1 there do even Labour voters think the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, is dealing with the situation well. So a bit of a wake-up call there, I think, for the Labour government. The public clearly not impressed with the leadership from the new Prime Minister. Let me know what you make of that in the comments below, please, guys. I will, of course, keep bringing you all the latest. And, of course, as ever, cheers for watching.